Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. I have a screaming headache, but I saw that there was confirmed MAJESPECTER support, and I've always been a fan of MAJESPECTERs, even though they've never really been super playable during the time I've been playing the game. But I am very excited to see, one, what these cards actually do, because I only saw that they were coming. I think we have a new Pendulum monster, a new Exceed, a new Link 2, and a quick play spell as well. That sounds like very good additions to a deck that very much welcomes it. One more thing before we get into it that I think this low-key kind of pushes, especially since Kieran's all over this artwork, is low-key keep an eye on Kieran coming off the ban list. Even if it's just a one copy, this deck will take way better advantage of it than any other deck, but Kieran to 1 is no joke, and I think this deck could actually be something going forward, but we'll see. All right, let's get into it. Starting off here, we start with the brand new MAJESPECTER Porcupine, Harinazumi. This is a wind spellcaster, of course. That's like all the whole setup of the MAJESPECTERs. They're wind spellcasters. They can't be destroyed by card effects, and they can't be targeted with card effects. So they're very annoying to deal with, but they tend to not be super big. They're smaller monsters, and they get you a bunch of resources. So, 2 hard once return effects on this card's effects. The first one says, during the main phase, if you control a MAJESPECTER monster, a quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Oh, that's cool. Quick effect. Interesting. That's pretty good because I think there's one of the MAJESPECTERs searches you a MAJESPECTER on end phase, I think. So being able to search this and then just be able to summon it on your opponent's turn as a quick effect anyway is really nice. So cool, pretty good extender. If this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can target a MAJESPECTER spell in your graveyard and set it. Okay, that's nice. More of a recovery one. A lot of them, that's actually pretty nice because a lot of the MAJESPECTERs search from deck, but you don't want to play like too many searchable names in your deck because like when they you know, they're like not the best to draw, but if you don't play enough, you run through them really quickly. So this is a card that kind of makes it better where you can play a smaller count of spells because then you can go into this one and just start getting them back from grave, which is cool. And then it has those basic protection effects. It's also 15-15, which is actually a decent stat line for MAJESPECTERs, so we'll take it. Very cool. Cool. Good card. Good first card. Moving on here, we move to MAJESPECTER Draco. This is a wind spellcaster. This has like the new Draco Slayer Pendulum Girl in the artwork here with Kieran. Again, pushing Kieran. This really makes me think they're going to release Kieran off the ban list. Okay. Wind spellcaster. This is a rank 4, 2300 attack, 2000 defense. Is also a pendulum exceed, so it has a pendulum scale of 5. The pendulum effect says, if you have a MAJESPECTER or Draco Slayer card in your other pendulum zone, you can add a MAJESPECTER card from your deck to your hand, then you can destroy 1 card in your pendulum zone. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good search effect for sure. Hard once return on that. Its monster effects are, requires 2 level 4, so it is completely generic. If you can pendulum summon level 4, you can pendulum summon this face-up card from your extra deck. Whoa, cool. You can only use the first monster effect of this card's name up to twice per turn. If a monster is tributed while this monster is on the field, you can detach a material from this card to special summon 1 level 6 or lower wind spellcaster monster from your deck. Wow, just summon any level 6 or lower. That is twice per turn? Yeah, that's crazy. And also, this is level 6 or lower. So that means if Kieran does come off the ban list, this allows you to just summon Kieran out of the deck pretty much. Because I think he's just a level 6. So that's pretty insane. Wow, not even once per turn, too. So you could, like, summon 1 that gets you a search for a back row interruption, and then summon Kieran, potentially. If that's back, do it again. Or, without Kieran, summon 2 that get you 2 searches. Still pretty good. And second effect, if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, or tributed, you can place it into your pendulum zone. So that's how you get it into your pendulum zone, if you so choose. Very cool. Pretty good card, I think. Moving on here, we have the Link 2. This is MAJESPECTER Orthrus Nue. This is another wind spellcaster. Its attack is 1500. Points down, left, down, right. Pretty good classic pendulum arrows. It requires 2 pendulum monsters, including a MAJESPECTER. So it does have to have a MAJESPECTER as one of the materials, which is good. You can only use this the effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is link summoned, you can activate this effect. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except MAJESPECTERs and Draco Slayers. Also, add up to 2 face-up MAJESPECTER pendulum monsters from your extra deck to your hand. Then you can add up to 2 MAJESPECTER pendulum monsters with different names from each other from your deck to your extra deck face up. Okay, that sounds like a lot. I'm trying to think about this. What does this mean? Okay, so I think the idea here is that if you use, I think there's just a MAJESPECTER monster that when it's normal summoned, it searches a MAJESPECTER monster. So I believe you'd go like normal summon him, add Porcupine, special Porcupine, make the Link 2. Those 2 will both be in extra deck. So now the Link 2 can add back both of those extra deck monsters to your hand, which I believe would give you scales, and you can send 2 other MAJESPECTER pendulums from deck to your extra deck, which are both going to get you a search, and then you scale the 2 scales you added back, pen summon those out under this guy, and get yourself 2 searches. And then you also, if you sent 2 4s, you would also be able to make the rank 4 guy and be able to facilitate him as well. Okay, I think that's the line there. I think that's like the main line where this guy's going to come up, or something akin to that. But seems pretty good to me. Seems like a pretty powerful card, like in archetype pendulum supporter. Pretty cool. And the last card we have here is MAJESPECTER Wind. This is a quick play spell. You can only activate 1 card this star's name per turn. When you activate this card, you can also tribute 1 Wind spellcaster. So you do not have to, but you can. Special summon 1 MAJESPECTER monster from your hand or graveyard, or if you tributed a monster at activation, you can special summon it from deck instead. Okay, I got it. Pretty cool. This is actually just a pretty good extender. Most of the MAJESPECTER spell cards aren't even like engine facilitators. They're like interruptions. They're like quick play spells and trap cards that just remove monsters or cards from the field. This one's actually a legit extender, or even like a pseudo e-telly. Pretty much. That's a pretty good additional card as well, because that'll be a nice additional piece to be able to search. Alright, well, all in all, I think it's pretty good. I like the way this looks. I've always been a big fan of the aesthetic of MAJESPECTERs, and I'm glad they're getting support. If they release Kirin to 1, I think it could be pretty cool, because I think clearly this deck will be able to access Kirin way better than any other deck. Like just with how easy it's going to be able to get access to it. So I think that like is a nice additional boost to this deck as well, without like making other pendulum decks like too over the top crazy. But yeah, I think this puts them in a cool spot. I think they could be an interesting rogue deck with this type of support. I'm very curious to see what players start to cook up with this. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're somebody who's a big fan of MAJESPECTERs and you know any additional synergies for some of these cards that I didn't mention here, please throw them down in the comments down below, and just your overall thoughts on like how you want to play the deck, your just initial thoughts, all that other stuff. I'd love to hear that down below. But I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching as always, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.